Welcome to another episode of Talking About Rock, sponsored by our friends, School of Rock, North Buffalo. I'm Rob Edwards. Today's guest has sold over 2 million albums worldwide with XYZ. Here to talk about his latest project with George Lynch, All or Nothing. Please welcome Terry ILous. Terry, how's it going?
I'm great. Thank you so much. This is Terry ILous.
Hey, we're so glad you could be here. And I've been following your cruise photos and videos online. It looks amazing you got going on there.
Thanks, mate. I'm actually, I got a contract with a company called the Royal Caribbean, and myself and a few members, Greg D'Angelo from White Lion, Kevin Jones from Aussie, Jake Rollinston from former member of Paul Rogers' Bad Company, and Starship on guitar, and Chuck Wright, who was the bass player for Quiet Riot for 26 years and played with Alice Cooper and a bunch of other people, is the bass player. So we put a big production show, and we do our own songs, particularly songs written by us, or songs we have actually been associated to, and then we do a couple of covers, and we have a big show, big screens, all that good stuff, big production, and it's looking great, and I'm very excited about that. I get to travel the world, I get to meet nice people, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
That sounds amazing. You are a busy guy. You had so much stuff going on, and I recently, a little while back, caught the video for you guys playing at the M8 festival. I think back in May, XYZ played there, right?
Yeah, the M3 festival. It was great. I had a great time. My original drummer, Paul Monroe, joined me on stage, and it was great because it's the first time actually Paul and I she had a stage together, and I absolutely adore him. So it was great. I had a lot of fun. The crowd loved it, and my friend Dee Sawyer came on stage and did backup vocals as well, and a couple of members of the band All or Nothing came on stage as well and helped us out. It was great. I mean, it's great to be able to still do what I love to do and have fans. I'm very grateful for that.
Right, and everybody can tour again and be back out on stage. And we're so happy that, all these bands that we love and grew up with, we're able to see these guys again and see you guys out there performing. It's excellent. So I wanted to give our audience a little history lesson and kind of catch them up on what happened with you. So XYZ got a record deal in '89, and Don Dokken produced that for you guys. Love that album. Inside Out, got it. My favorite, obviously, Maggie off of that was an amazing album. You guys followed up with that with Hungry, which was just as awesome as the first one, I got to say. Unfortunately, guys disbanded in '92 after the Foreigner tour. But you did get together, I think, in 2003 and released Letter to God, right?
Yes and no. Yes, 2 or 3 was XYZ Letter to God, but I have to apologize to the crowd. I don't think I should have called it XYZ, because at the time, my partner in crime, Pat Fontaine, was not directly involved with the band, so he left the band at the time, and I continued talking about XYZ, and the record company wanted me to call the band XYZ, but I said yes, okay. But to be quite honest with you, it was not a real XYZ album because Pat wasn't there. Yes, it was XYZ because songs were written by XYZ, myself, Mark, who before leaving the band co-wrote the songs with me, and yes, it was in that particular in this particular way, it was an XYZ album. But the fact that Pat, my brother, was not around, for me, it was not a true XYZ album. So it sounded XYZ without having my partner.
I totally understand that. Yeah, I got you. But you guys reunited. You reunited again in 2008, right?
Yeah, in 2008, someone asked us to do a tour, which we did. It was very successful. We had a great time, and Pat and I were still best friends. We've been working together ever since. We're kids, so it's great.
That's excellent. Actually, you had a short stint in Great White, but what I've read is you were happy that you got out of that situation, kind of too, right?
Well, I was with Great White for 9 years. I had a great time with the band. I think it's important to know that I was very grateful to be part of that band. The guys in the band are great people, management, Bridget, all these people are great people. It just was time to go separate ways for them and for me. I think they were looking for something else, and I was looking for something else as well. Now,
so it was a mutual type of thing for you.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, it was a wonderful thing to be a part of this great band. I had an amazing time. I do not regret anything at all. And I'm glad they're doing great. I think they have a great singer now in the band, and I'm really happy for them. And I wish them the very best. I have no animosity whatsoever. I'm doing great. I'm doing what I like to do, which is what I want to do. However, I will always be friends with the guy in the band, Great White. I will always love Audie and Mark and Bridget and the rest of the guys. I will always be grateful for that great opportunity. It just was time to move on. However, I'm happy now.
Right, and you're a busy guy, so you also kind of changed gears a little bit in 2019 with the Vagabonds, and you did some Latin music interpretations of classic rock with Gypsy Dreams.
Yeah, flamenco music. Yeah, you have to understand. My dad was Spanish, from Spain, from Barcelona. So I grew up listening to Spanish music as well as rock. So, and also a lot of Middle Eastern music, a lot of different style of music. So in 2017, 2018, I decided to put this album together, which was really a bit different than things I've done in the past. And I had a great time doing it. And I may do another album again with the guys. Who knows? What I know is, as an artist, you have to push the boundaries. You can't just repeat yourself all the time and do the same thing over and over again. It becomes redundant and becomes boring. I do appreciate what I've done in the past, and I will continue doing it. I will always do rock, for sure. But I will always do other things as well. And that's where I am. I have to push the envelope. I have to think outside the box all the time.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to think about things nowadays, for sure. So now that we're all caught up and everybody's all caught up out there, so let's talk about the new project you have with George Lynch, All or Nothing. How's that come about?
It's going great. I think George is one of the greatest guitar players of that era. I have to be honest with you, and I really mean that. I've always had a tremendous admiration for George. We've never really worked together, although when Don produced my first album, we used some of George's amps, and then modified them. Somebody else modified that again, a guy named Mike Moran at the time, and then so although I was not close to George back then, we have met over the years. We've met many times, and we've talked about working together, but never really happened. And then when I co-wrote this song, Dead or Alive, I sent it to George. I said, I wrote this song thinking darkened Lynch / early XYZ. Would you be interested in playing guitar on it? And he listened to it, and he immediately got back to me and said, absolutely. So that was the beginning of something, and then we've done a show a month ago that was extremely successful. That was oversold out. It was really successful, and now we're planning more shows and maybe more work. I don't know. It's up to George now. But again, I think the world of him. I think he's one of the most brilliant guitar player out there. With the likes of course, Eddie Van Halen and Michael Schenker and Gary Moore and a few others. I think George is definitely JT Lee. George is definitely out there, one of the best.
Oh, definitely. I totally agree with you. And he definitely hit it out of the park with this. You got definitely got the Doc and Lynch sound. You got the amazing vocals from yourself on it. I really love the new track.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick pause here. We're going to play the video for Dead or Alive. I'll be right back here on Talking About Rock. All right, we're back here on Talking About Rock. Just checked out the video for Dead or Alive here. Amazing stuff, and I'm really loving this. Are we gonna maybe get some more tracks as well?
We're talking about it. George and I, but we're talking about it. It's just a matter of business, putting business together between a label, who's gonna release the stuff, who's gonna pay for it, all that good stuff. It's a music business.
Right.
I think he knows how much I want to work with him, and I hope he wants to work with me as well. And again, I think the world of him. Period.
Yeah, I know he's got a lot of dates going on, and you have a lot of dates going on. But I hope you can put together a project around this. And speaking from a fan standpoint, we'd love to see a whole album and a tour with you guys come out. I'm sure everyone would love that.
Sure.
But you do have a show coming up September 24th at the Emerald Theater with George.
Yes, we have a show coming up the 24th, and then I have other dates. Actually, we're booking other dates in December as well. And as you said, it's a matter of finding the time to book something, because I have a lot of dates booked with someone else, which I cannot announce it yet, but it will be announced in the first week of October, because we're gonna release a single together. But in the first week of October, him and I are gonna be releasing something together. So we have a lot of dates coming up, and yeah, I mean, look, dude, I'm a busy guy because I believe we're only here for a little while. So we have to do the best we can while we're here. I don't sleep much. I usually sleep about 5 to 6 hours a night, because my mind is always working. I'm always
I totally understand that. I'm the same way. Once your mind starts going, you're not sleeping, right?
Yes, I don't. I sleep 5 hours a night, 5, 6 at the most. And I'm always constantly writing or thinking about songs or production or hooking up with different musicians. The thing is, I believe we're only here for a while. Whatever happens after, when we're gone, no one knows. No one knows. People say there's heaven, hell, whatever. I don't know. People say we come back in a different life. I don't know. But what I can tell you is, this is a beautiful world. This is a beautiful life. And for me, heaven is here, or could be hell for a lot of people as well, or thing. But the bottom line, what I'm trying to say is, I want to do as much as I can. I want to accomplish as much as I can while I can. That's all.
Yep, definitely. We know the time is short for us here. Definitely, we all try to get that in. And I know you've been busy. We've been going back and forth a little bit for a while, trying to get you on, because your schedule's been crazy. And I'm so glad you took some time and you stopped in to talk with us. I got one last thing for you. I'm sure it's on everybody's mind. Can we expect new stuff from XYZ?
We have new stuff. We have Pat, Joey, and I, and myself have recorded a mini LP. It's recorded. It's done. We're actually shopping it right now. The reason we haven't released it is because we don't know how to release it. Nowadays the music scene has changed so much. So releasing an LP or complete album so far, and putting it out there, and what happens? The music scene's changed. The record companies are gone.
Right.
So
totally different now, right? Yeah.
Try to find the best way to release it, so with the maximum impact. That's what we're trying to say. So we are currently shopping it with different labels. We have some interest. It's just a matter of finding the right house.
Right. And it's funny that because I watch all the releases now that come out, and we've almost went back to how they used to release music, right? They come out with the singles now, and then they drop the album. That's how they used to do it way back in the day, right? In the 60s and 70s, you'd have a single or two, and if there was a lot of attention around that, then they put together an album, then they put out an album. And obviously then we moved to the album oriented in the 70s, 80s, and it was just album. Now it's totally changed, I think, because the record companies missed the boat when all the MP3 started and streaming started. They missed the boat on that. So now people are kind of like trying to figure stuff out, like you said.
Yeah, I think, again, releasing an album that's going to be here today, gone tomorrow, it's kind of a waste of time if you think about it, and waste of money. And most of the fans will not be able to know there's a new album out there because there's so much information out there nowadays. So many people releasing albums, songs everywhere. So it's hard to the fan to catch up and say, oh, wow, there's an album from so and so. Before you know it, it's already 6 months down the line. So it's old news. So we just have to make sure that we find the right for the band, the right label, and the right, the right team to promote that LP together.
Exactly, and I agree with you. There's just so much information out there, and that's kind of why we're doing this, to catch up everyone in our audience and our fan bases on the releases that are coming out and all the music that we love and that we still listen to, and the people that we want to go see. And that's why we want to promote this here on our show. So yeah, I definitely understand.
Wonderful. I tell you, I appreciate you. I appreciate people like yourself who still promoting bands like my band and other bands as well. I appreciate you. I appreciate the fans who still love music, who still go to concert, stand in line for like 3 hours to meet the band. I really appreciate all that, and I don't take it for granted. That's why when I do a show, and when I go on stage and off stage, when I meet the fans, time with every one of them and thank them, because I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have had such a career and to have people like yourself.
And that's a special connection for people, right? Music is an emotional connection for people. And when they feel that, they feel emotionally connected to the artist, right?
Yeah. But anyway, I have to cut this short because I apologize. I have sound check with the guys. We have a big show tonight, and we have a new sound guy coming in and all that stuff. So, yeah. So, but I'm looking forward to that. I'm really excited to be on this particular cruise. It's a really big ship. We have, the stage, the venue is small. It's 1,000 people every night, and I think it's very about that.
Yep. So where's the best place for folks to get information on you? What's going on? Should they go to your website or Facebook, or what should they do?
I think people can go on my website, of course, terryilous.com, but also I'm also on Facebook quite often. I mean, pretty much every day. I review messages, I reply, and also Instagram, of course, and YouTube under my name, of course. It's all under my name. I just have people send me requests and I'll reply, and have people send requests to my professional Facebook page, not my personal. My personal, I don't add anyone. Although I get like.
Right, I totally understand. Well, thank you for taking the time. I know you got to run. We really appreciate it. And if you folks out there want to know more about us, you have questions or comments, please feel free to email us at talkingaboutrock@gmail.com. Like us and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And for this interview, you can catch it on YouTube and all the streaming services. Terry, thank you so much for being with us and spending some time, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.